Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Thank you so much for letting me come back into your house today. I know where most of you live, it's really cold. We've had a cold winter, and even here in the Yucatan, we're experiencing a cold front. Now, cold front for us, it might get down to 60 or 59 degrees, but that's cold if you're used to living in the tropics. So I'm going to show you a really quick bread that you can make in 5 minutes and put it in the oven today. We're going to make a cheesy, buttery beer bread, and I'm going to throw some spices in there also. So I'm going to start off, I've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour right here. To that 3 cups of all-purpose flour, I've got just some plain sugar. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's 1. I got my 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to put that in there. I can slide that out of the way. This is so quick and so easy to make. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon, about a little bit less than 1 teaspoon of salt in there, okay? I've got some baking powder here. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of baking powder in here. Okay, I'll get that out of the way. Okay, now I've got a little bit of garlic salt here. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic salt on top here. I chose to use basil. I love basil, but you can use rosemary or whatever spices. You don't have to use any spices at all, okay? So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of basil in here. Set those out of the way. Okay, I've got my ingredients in the bowl, and I'm going to get my blending fork here, and I'm just going to blend this up a little bit, mix all the ingredients together. Okay, so far very simple. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, it calls for 12 ounces of beer. So I have a Bud Light, but it's a little bit, it's like 15 ounces, and all I need is 12 ounces. So the other 3 ounces will be for me. But you can use any type of light beer. You can even use one of the cider beers if you wanted to. You want to pour that into your flour. And we're going to stir this for a few minutes till it starts getting really, until the gluten has a chance to really start making. Okay, I'm going to let this stir around a few minutes. In the meantime, I've got my oven set on 375 degrees. I've got my cast iron skillet back here, and I started melting a 1/2 stick of butter in there. I'm going to put this back on my top of my unit and turn this back on because I want this butter to get hot. Okay, let that get hot and get this all stirred around. And we give it a few seconds just, so, like I said, for the yeast and the beer to start working and the gluten is, and it's pretty smoothed out. So as you can see, my butter is bubbling here. So I'm going to take my beer batter bread and I'm just going to pour it right in here. Oh, I wish you could smell this with the herbs and the butter. Quick bread. And you know, if you wanted to do these in muffin tins, you could do that to serve, you know, separately. I'm going to spread that out in here in my pan. But we're not finished because we're going to put some cheese on it. Now, as y'all know, I like the Mexican blend cheese. So I've got some of that I'm going to put in here. I'm going to sprinkle some of that on the top. This is going to be so good and so tasty. Then I've got a little bit of mozzarella cheese I'm going to put on top of that. And like I said, then my oven is going in my oven. My oven is preheating at 375 degrees, and it's going to go in my oven until this gets nice and brown on the top. I don't know exactly how long that's going to be, but at the end of it, I will let you know how long it will be. So that's can pick it up. Okay, I'm going to put it in my oven now. Like I said, the oven is 375. And when that finished cooking, I'll be back to you. Okay, our buttery beer cheese bread has been in the oven about 35 minutes, and I'm going to take it out now. And boy, does it look ever delicious. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, I told you I put basil in there and garlic. You don't have to put that at all. You can just make this by itself, or you could put chilies in it if you wanted to, or you could put rosemary. There's one thing I need to change. I used the whole 15 ounces of beer instead of the 12. I just thought it wasn't moist enough, so I put the whole 15 ounces. So you need one whole large light beer. So we'll get this, I'm gonna let this cool a few minutes and we'll come back and cut it. Our buttery beer cheese bread has cooled down a little bit, so now I'm gonna cut a piece of it so we can see what it looks like. It smells divine. Make sure I get, ooh, that's hot. Make sure I get that cut all the way down. Okay. Just got a little spatula and get this out. And look at that. You see all the herbs in there? And all the cheese that's on the top. Now, if you just had a bowl of soup or a bowl of chili, still warm. Wow. I can taste the basil in there, the butter, the cheese is crunchy on the top. Like I said, all I need is a bowl of soup, a bowl of chili. So I hope you'll try this. Thank you so much for following me on Facebook and keep on subscribing to me on YouTube. I've got so many more things I want to bring to you, and I love coming into your house. You invite me in with such open arms, and I really appreciate it. Until next time, you take care of yourself. Know that I'm thinking about you, and this is Jim in Mexico saying, God bless.